peace and harmony of God. Peace and harmony are considered to be energies. But as in this declaration, you are the peace and harmony of God. It is a state of being that is the true natural state of love that cannot be anything but peace and harmony and joy and all of the other exquisite elements of love. That these elements are somewhat hidden is not because they were meant to be hard to find, but they became buried through fear and through hatred, that they seem to almost completely disappear. And yet they are at the center of your being, the truth of your existence. And as all of the untruths are released, peace is found, harmony is found. It's not manufactured. It's not building a good identity and being able to express peace and harmony, but it is just the natural state of your being. And it's what you offer because it's the natural state. It's the truth of God. And every time that you offer peace and harmony and express that peace and harmony, you are opening the door for God in the world. You are introducing your surroundings with the vibration of God that you carry. Imagine a beloved who is given an important job, and that important job says, you're going to carry and bring to the world the very element that is going to save the world. You're going to carry it and you're going to bring it to humanity. They're all waiting for you. And that is the calling. It's as if you're carrying a precious cargo, a precious commodity that was given to you by God to bring to humanity. And the learning is just the learning of how to offer it and how to remain in that state. But it's not an overreach to say that you are chosen and called by the power of God to bring love, to bring peace, to bring harmony. There's a quotation that almost everyone is familiar with, which says it has to do with bringing peace and harmony, but as opposed to the fears and the hatred within the world. And the quote says, "If not now, when? And if not me, who?" And that is a beautiful prayer to carry within. That if you even have an inkling of that calling, embrace it. Embrace it because you're bringing God's happiness. You're bringing tranquility. You're bringing a gentle calmness to a world that has no relationship with calmness, that just reacts, and because of the belief in pain and suffering. You may not have ever considered that you would be being called by God. Maybe you made a category of particular masters and teachers who are above the fray, as if they are the only ones who are responsible for bringing peace and harmony. But in actuality, we are their disciples and the disciples of God always. And we are called with them to serve as deeply as possible to bring peace and harmony. And the beauty of the peace and the harmony that you bring is that as you offer peace and harmony, you receive the peace and the harmony. The harmony and the peace expand within you because you are nurturing it, and it's as if you are watering the flowers in your garden that are the truth of love. And then within that watering, the abundance of love can be truly offered. It's an amazing element of offering peace and harmony. At first, it can seem very awkward and as if maybe no one is on the receiving end. But the more you offer, the more you feel the strength of it within, and you begin to see the glimpses of its effectiveness, of its blessing in the world as you offer it. If not now, when? If not me, who? And it also, that same kind of prayer goes the other way, that certainly most of us in the realization of offering love or being that peace and harmony that is being called to offer love, the resistance to believing that God would call on you, that God would call on this one that is constantly within the journey, struggling sometimes and doing the best that we can, but it doesn't ever seem to be, okay, now I'm here to offer peace and harmony, because the journey is still going on within. But the more that you take that mantle and that calling from the blessings of God, the stronger and stronger the peace and harmony start really filling your heart. And what a blessing. Peace and harmony of God. All perfect. And in that peace and harmony, affirming this universe is all love, all peace, all harmony. We join with this peace and with this harmony now. And we affirm that this sanctuary is filled with love and peace and harmony, because this is what we invoke and affirm. And we affirm that there is only one life force of God, and that life force is here, and within it we live and breathe and move as one, in union, in holy truth. We accept only peace, only harmony. In the infinity of space, in the brilliance of the presence of God, and all divine beings that come to serve us and help us remember, we celebrate all divine beings in the truth of love. We affirm the splendor of God's light that shines on this earth plane through peace and through harmony in every moment. We affirm love. No infinito do espaço, onde brilha a presença de Deus e dos seres divinos que habitam todos os mundos seus, verde, azul e branco, e Jagubi, my rainha, no resplendor destas matas, Jesus Cristo, bom mestre, ensina. No resplendor destas matas, Jesus Cristo, bom mestre, ensina. Always with the master of love, we celebrate the blessings and the grace of God. I am Mary of conception. I am seeking to open your heart, offering my love and guidance as your suffering world comes apart. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Bring your sorrow to place at my feet. Tears that are watering my garden, in the river of Jordan we'll meet. Oh, my children, I seek your surrender. Both the path and the message are clear. My Saint John is walking beside you, holding your hand through this fear. Keep your strength as you seek to be humble. Let the power that guides you reveal all the blessings of my holy rapture, confirming you know what is real. Confirming that you know what is real. It's again always coming back to peace and letting all the belief of pain and suffering be laid at the feet of the Divine Mother, gladly accepting. I'm so happy I was mistaken, that only love is real. There I bow my head at the feet of every creature. This constant submission and homage of kissing God all over, someday every lover will do. Only there I prostrate myself against the beauty of each form. For when I bring my heart close to any object, I always hear the friend say, I am here. Bow my head at the feet of every creature. This is a constant submission and homage of kissing God all over. In the journey of love, as we learn to bow our heads and kiss the feet of every creature, and kissing the light of God all over, it's the journey is one of learning to submit, which is what everything of the ego has said not to do. Even though the ego screams everyone is a victim of the world on the outside, at the same time, the ego's relationship with the belief that everyone is a victim is the holding in the belief of promoting anger because of that belief. And God is calling for the heart to open, and God is calling for the embrace of peace and harmony and blessings. But it is a place that is a leap of faith, of surrender. It's not surprising that beloveds don't have an understanding of surrender, because in the world, that's not done. Surrender is, in the world, is seen as losing. When you surrender, when a country surrenders to another country at the end of a war, the one who surrenders is the loser and becomes dependent and having to answer to the one who won. But the surrender to God has no relationship to that at all. Everyone that surrenders is saving themselves. It's a place of being saved. It's a place of being able to surrender what's been made up and that stands in the way of love. It's completely non-connected to the world of surrender and the world's image of surrender. In the world's image of surrender, yes, you could very easily see yourself as a victim, because you would be losing. You would be having to pay homage to whoever won. And there is no, in the truth of surrender to love, it is the happy surrender. It is being so happily letting loose of all what has caused you pain. Why we resist surrender is insanity to begin with. To fight so strongly to resist surrender, which I certainly did, fought it as much as I could. And yet, in the end, it's all that you truly want, because it's the way out of pain and suffering. And it's out of the identity. You're stepping out, you're surrendering the identity that is so limited and so small and so untrue of you that we should all be just thrilled at throwing it over the edge of the cliff. But there is a resistance for sure. And that resistance is pain. It's painful because to resist love, to resist peace and harmony is naturally painful. And all the while, God is calling you to bow your head and remember the truth of who you are. When I have prostrated myself on the ground, it wasn't for the drama, and it wasn't for the show how good I was spiritually. It came from a deep yearning place that felt for just a second the immenseness of love that was God. And in that second opening to the yearning that's within each beloved, the yearning is, I want to rest. I truly want to rest. I want to rest where I belong. And everyone has carried the ideas of, if I can just get some more control, I'll be better off. I just need to control this situation or this situation. And yet, love is calling every moment, saying, you don't have to try to control you because it won't work. Just surrender it. Turn it over. Give it to the power of love that can actually serve its healing. And when you're walking, what you think of as alone, many times it's completely forgotten that there is a power of love that can transform. And sometimes we even forget what it is that we want to have transformed. Sometimes it's just, the prayer is just whatever this is, it's not peace and it's not harmony, and I don't want to play the game anymore. It can be that simple. It isn't that you have to identify it or anything else. It's just the yearning to want to surrender it because you just don't want it anymore. And there comes a moment, many moments along the way, that you realize that it's so much easier when I turn it over. Why aren't I doing that all the time? And eventually you do, because it's just so much easier. There I bow my head at the feet of every creature, this constant submission and homage of kissing God all over. Someday every lover will do. And it's true. And you, as the peace and the harmony that has already recognized that element of truth, are bringing that peace and harmony every day to whoever comes in your scope of opportunity. I kept this prayer out again. As we affirm and accept the truth of God, we accept our true name is one in God's name. In this truth, we are united with all life, one within creation and creator, What we made and call by many different names is but a shadow that we tried to cast across reality. We are grateful we were mistaken and gladly surrender our mistaken differences to be dissolved into the truth of oneness, the truth of the heart. In this prayer, as in all prayers, there is a deep connection that as soon as you begin to enter into a prayer, the vibration is there, truly is. And that vibration of love is answering you as you pray. Because the universe is so happy to receive the vibration of connection through prayer. Through that prayer, we affirm the truth of God. We affirm peace and harmony. And we choose peace and harmony. And we bring peace and harmony. We offer it. The deep, deep gift of love that is always, always calling to you. I want the peace of God instead of what I think I know. I want the peace of God instead of what I think I know is an essential prayer. Because as soon as you affirm it, the Holy Spirit and all the divine beings, all your guides start working to help you because you want the peace of God. It's always answered, never without. There is an element within of peace and harmony that many beloveds, I certainly felt it many times, but there's a fear of expressing devotion in the world. And I just keep affirming with each beloved, don't be afraid of expressing devotion. It's not about proselytizing, it's not about proving anything, but it is definitely your heart. It's not words as it is the expression of your heart. The smile that's in your eyes radiates through your being, and that you offer that because as you offer it, you receive it, and because it's what you're here to do, to offer that. Offering it all. Releasing the world that's been invented and accepting. I can see peace. I can accept peace right now, and I can offer peace. Show me the way, because it's all I want. Show me the way, because it's God's will for me. There's a prayer in here on integrity. Even an angel needs rest, as integrity creates a body so vast that 1,000 winged ones will plead, may I lay my cheek against you. Just wanting to offer love all the time is your delicious, exquisite expression that rests within you always. Do you have to sometimes dig for it? Yeah. Is it there first? Not necessarily, but it's there. It's there, and there's a funny thing that the ego likes to do, which is to believe and try to convince that there's only so much love. And it's sometimes looked at as, oh, I have to, because of the belief in lack, there's a belief that there isn't enough love, so you have to kind of hold on to it or kind of dole it out in small amounts. But God is actually calling that you give as much love as possible, that you just let it pour, because there's a never-ending abundance of it. The more that you pour, the more that you that it's open and it's moving and it's flowing. I can remember being very very caught in the belief of scarcity, and doling out everything was like, this was like the last of everything, and the belief that there wouldn't be any more. And it's throwing that all away, throwing the belief of scarcity away, and inviting constantly the abundance of God's love, because it's beyond comprehension of how much love there is, because it's everything, absolutely everything. And every day is the opportunity to recognize that whatever is being seen out there is coming from the mind. And the power of that is so brilliant, because if it's not coming from the mind, it'll never heal. But because it's coming from the mind, we have the powerful choice of healing. And it eventually will be that the mind is cleansed of all identity that is untrue, and only love will remain. And eventually there will be, you won't even be able to reach for a thought that is not harmony, because they won't be there anymore. You won't have any comparisons with anyone. You won't have any belief in one having more or less or anything, because it'll all just disappear. And you will realize that heaven is here in this moment. And harmony and peace will be everything that you recognize. Because it's who you are. It's what you are. You don't have to fight to win it. You don't have to fight to prove it. It is who and what you are. And it's that embrace that is all important. When we see or experience a situation, it's always something familiar that we've had before. And every situation offers the same thing. I could see peace instead of this. And it gives us that opportunity to heal every day into the deep surrender of God's love, into the deep healing power of the Spirit of love. Thank God we were mistaken, and only love is real.